Thank you, Marcus, for your great introduction. Welcome from me, and thank you that I'm able to present here. I'm representing this time the roundtable on antibiotics, and Marcus has also already said a lot of people are members of the roundtable antibiotics who are sitting here. It's not only Marcus, it's Doug, it's Michael, it's Christoph, with their initiatives supporting us in kind of making the flowers that Doug is planting, that they have sustainable water also afterwards, and that they can also survive without the gardener in a garden. So what is the organization? The Roundtable on Antibiotics is a unique multidisciplinary non-profit Swiss association that we have founded in 2019. Also, we have begun earlier with our activities. We have members from healthcare, from science, from politics and industry. And together, we want not only to promote public awareness of antimicrobial resistance, but also to support policy making in introducing financial incentive models for novel antibiotics, and and measures to ensure the supply of new and existing antibiotics. So basically, we are the link between the international decision making and international activities on pull incentives, and translate these initiatives into Swiss policy making, where we try to influence and to support Swiss policy making that. So we engage in Switzerland, but we connect with initiatives worldwide, either pilots in Sweden and in England, or initiatives like GARDP, and also with Australia and with Norway. So what is the problem of antibiotics? Why are there not more companies engaging in the antibiotic market? You see here the life cycle of an antibiotic product. You see here the time axis, horizontal, and you need about 10 years until you get to your new antibiotic, until it is patient ready and you get your marketing approval. And until then, you have a lot of research costs. You also have a lot of the development costs that are covered now by the AMR Action Fund. You have to cover some regulatory effort. But in the end, if the flower gets marketing approval, the question is, how can it sustain? And compared to other drugs, the revenue potential of antibiotics is not as good. And therefore, and other drugs are probably up here, and then it's easy for them to cover the development costs and the regulatory effort and also the research costs. But not in antibiotics, because if you bring a new antibiotic to the market, it's usually not used due to stewardship reasons. And on this side, we have some research funding, like in Switzerland, the NCCR anti-resist. We have some push incentives from international activities like Welcome or GARDP. And then we have also some measures of Swissmedic, or EMA, FDA, to reduce the regulatory effort and to reduce these costs. But what we are missing in the end is the pull incentive. So we can come maybe to this stage, but afterwards the companies also go bankrupt and cannot bring the products to the market. Neither new products nor the existing products are produced. So antibiotics are mainly the product category that is mainly characterized by shortages. So what we basically propose is to emulate the missing revenue here through kind of a guaranteed revenue using subscription payments. You can also have other mechanisms to pay for this missing revenue, to really pull the product into the market. But therefore, you have to change the mindset in policy making to change from a price by volume reimbursement to a kind of I pay for having the product available, but if I don't need it, I'm also happy, but I see a value, a public health value to have this product if I really need it. And therefore you have in the end revenue potential of the price by volume element plus guaranteed revenue or subscription payment that has to come from the public hand. So what we have actually started in Switzerland is the so-called POL project, where we envision in 2030 to adopt a national POL incentive in Switzerland. This is ambitious, I know, but we still have visions. And we started last year with the assessment of eligible models. And there are different models like the transferable exclusivity extension voucher, the subscription model, the market entry premiums, etc. And we wanted to see which of these models fits to the Swiss national system, that we then can specify it in detail for Switzerland, pilot it from 2025 on, and then we come to our national adoption in 2028, where we then have a long-acting pull incentive, and which would be the decision Michael needs. We have started with the assessment. We have started with the analysis of the legislative basis, and we are already active with a lot with project management, communication, and exchange of experience with international stakeholders who have already started activities on pull incentives. And as you can imagine, there are a lot of stakeholders involved, not only national and international, but also payers, providers, companies, etc. It's kind of a huge effort to assess these different models, and we will publish soon, end of November, a report on effective antibiotics for the Swiss healthcare systems now and in the future, where we make concrete suggestions which pull incentives Switzerland should follow, that we can start on time with the specification of these models and discuss which drugs we should use. In the end, we envisage about a pull incentive of about 2 to 4 million Swiss francs per year per compound if it's a novel antibiotic. So what have we evaluated for that? We have evaluated whether this pull incentive is effective at all, whether it has implications on stewardship or not, whether it improves security of supply. We have also analyzed the speed of implementation, which is important. So how fast can we implement something depending on the Swiss legislative environment, the effort for the model implementation, and the societal acceptance, where we say that the payer has to accept that he has to pay an incentive. We also have the real question: is the payer also the beneficiary of the incentive or of the new product? But because there are several suggestions right now where the payer of the pull incentives does not profit at all from the new antibiotic. Whether it's transparent or not, whether we can understand it, whether we can manage it, and whether there are tailored reward sizes which can be adapted to the innovativeness of the new antibiotic. So my key takeaways are we need to rethink of how we reward and remunerate innovation in the antibiotics field. We need to embrace a new payment model for innovation. It requires commitment from policymakers, from administrators, but as well as also from society and industry to accept these new forms of payments. And what I also can say, expected revenues, even if we do not have it implemented in the future, affect investment and research decisions of research organizations, industry and startups already today. So even the researchers, they direct their activities in areas where they think they will be funded in the future. So thank you very much. Yes, thank you for this question. I just have to refer to this project schedule. And we first were thinking about what models, whether it's TE or subscription model or market entry premium, is the right thing for Switzerland, which was already a lot of work. And now how we actually define the eligibility, what is novel, what is not novel, what are we doing if the compound is not as promising as it ought to be. This will be specified in the module B, which is far larger than the module A.
We don't know your rate yet.
Yes, we don't know yet. So basically we have envisaged and made our calculations mainly of larger countries that can afford novel drugs, and it's always the case that low and middle income countries come later, but we see the problem, and there we have also evaluated in our analysis whether you can make kind of obligations to get the pull incentives in Switzerland to also supply the product in low and middle income countries, for example, with a deal with GARP, where they come into play.